So,
Uh,
in what context do you mean, or context do you mean by using the N-word? Tell me.
it's the same way you would use the F, like the same way you
So,
would use faggot.
do you mean like the N-word version that black people
Yeah,
normally say to each other as mates, or the
yeah,
N-word that white
yeah,
people use for black
yeah,
people?
yeah, hard R, yeah.
Okay, well, uh, that word is a racist term.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's obviously just a racist term for black
I
people.
agree. Yeah, I agree.
Um, but in terms of context with the FA word, um, well, when I'm around my friends that consider themselves black with like really dark skin colors, they allow me to say the black version of the N word to them as mates. So I would not use the ER version of it because that's just a full-on racist term. And I agree that it's just a racist term, but if you try to compare the FA word that's apparently homophobic to the
Well, not
um
apparently it is, but
NER word that's racist, like blatantly racist to black people, like you cannot control your skin color,
are you saying?
so it's completely you can control if you're gay because it's a choice. You are not born that way. If you're born that way, then I'm amazed at it. But so far, every single gay person that I've seen is not born with it. They just become it
Really?
through
How do you know?
choice.
How could you tell?
Well, I have some gay friends, and they
Ah,
tell me that yeah.
okay, sorry, continue.
Okay, well, and like I said before, I've got black friends.
Mm-hmm.
So Um, when I say the FA word, I don't mean it in the literal context of like just gay. I fully support any gay person in their doings, but I am not gay myself and I'm not homophobic. If somebody is gay, I fully support them. I'm not going to hate them just because they're gay. It's a choice that they make personally. And if someone's black, I'm not going to hate them for being black. They're still human. It's just a skin color. They're still literally just human, just like you and I. So,
So,
and
okay, okay, continue, sorry.
wait, no, you go, you go.
My bad. Sorry for typing so loud. Are you saying that? Uh, so okay, so let's get some. So what's your actual stance? Are you saying that it's a false equivalency? Equivalency? Yeah, that word. Are you saying that it's like not the same, or are you saying that because you have black
Elaborate,
friends,
elaborate on that.
are you saying that they're not the same? That they're not slurs that are used against them in derogatory settings? The N word and
Okay,
the F A
so
word.
okay, so the N word, well, as you should probably know, like black people have been slaves and they've only just recently gotten their black rights, or I don't even know if they have, but hopefully. So as you should also know, the N word, like the ER version of it, is actually used for them as calling them slaves. Even the NEGRO word, which is the old version of it, was still used as the slave word and just classing them as just a lower part of society just because of their skin color. Now, the you better not be recording this. The
I'm not.
FAR word, the FAGGOT word for gay people, I get that for some gay people who are gay by choice, or if they think they're gay by birth, I don't really care. Maybe for some of them it could be offensive, but I, I use that word all the time, not in the homophobic way that people probably perceive it as. I use it as sort of a joking manner and just a common insult. I mean nothing homophobic by it. It's just another word like idiot or jerk or any of those insults for me. And a lot of other people use it and they are not homophobic. Same with people who are white and use the black version of the N word for their mates, like for their black mates. Uh, They they have asked their black friends or just friends in general who are black if they're allowed to use the
Stop,
word
stop, 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 stop. Okay, so
what?
first off, you're conflating the two. You're conflating the A with the ER. So basically, the A is okay because it's used by black people as like a friendly thing, but the ER isn't. Okay, so this is a derogatory word, right? The same with the FA word. All right. So like you're conflating two. So you don't go up to your black friend and say the ER, all right? Or you don't go up to your a gay person and say the FA word, all right? So these are derogatory
Well,
words that you're conflating the two.
well, with the with the ER and A word, you obviously wouldn't say the white version of the N word to a black person because obviously it's like the racist version of the term
Yeah,
because
because it's
you're
derogatory. Yeah, I agree.
no, not I don't know, but it's because you're pretty much calling them a slave to their face. And like if it's like the A version of it, the black people have made their own version of it. I don't know how this happened or whatever, but like I don't control this, I didn't invent it. But the black people have made their own version of this word to use among themselves as mates. And some white people who are very close to them and not racist are allowed to use this term as like a friendly manner. But
Okay.
they I don't I guess like the the A version of it is just a term used as the word friend or mate or bro. So, but the FAG word, I guess it's still offensive to some gay people, but some
To
people,
most gay people, be sure, yeah.
yeah, but like, who made that word up? Like, who made that word up?
I
Tell me
believe it
right now.
was a Latin word for gay. It came from Latin, I think, which just meant gay people when gay people were killed in the streets for being gay. Uh, and
Okay.
still around the place, some uh places are still being killed for being gay. So that's where it comes from.
Okay, fair enough. But like, for some people, it's just used as a common insult, and I get that. That's probably still offensive to gay people. But some gay people even still use that word. I don't know where, but some people do. Like maybe a small number of them, I don't know, but some people do. Just as like a friendly manner or a common insult. I don't know.
Yeah, it's used. Gay people use it as their N word, right? Their A, basically, since there's no other way that you can say it without like add on to it like the A is for the N word. So that's why they use it among themselves because it's just like friendly banter, just like the N word. But for you to call me, um, you know, for you to say,
Well,
oh,
I used that as a
faggot,
common insult on you, and you just twisted it. So,
how did I twist it? I'm sorry, I thought it was a derogatory word. How did I twist it? Are you saying
well,
it's not derogatory?
because I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that I used that as a common insult. Like I already told you, I try to mix up the word idiot and jerk into one, but that would just sound weird. So I just used a new word to summarize both of them. So as a common insult, and then you just try to
Ooh.
summarize that as me being homophobic when I already told you I have no problem with gay people.
Uh,
Like
uh,
if I was homophobic, I would just go up to them and call them faggots, but I don't do that, do I?
well, you did to me, but we'll slide
Yeah,
past
but
that one that
you're
you
not
just
gay,
said
are you?
about
So it
the.
shouldn't offend you.
It doesn't matter if I call you the N word with an ER. You're not black, but would it? I mean, I guess it was still
Well,
offend you,
I
right?
mean, it wouldn't offend me, but it would offend a black person. And
Okay.
if you, yeah,
So because it doesn't offend the direct person, indirectly people are still being affected by it. Um, yeah.
where did I say that? Or are you just saying that?
I'm just saying that.
Okay then, but okay, now onto the second matter. Like
Okay.
you completely twisted one sentence of mine about a stupid little debate and just twisted it into saying that I was dumb, which I'm clearly not dumb.
Well, that's debatable, but past that.
No, it's not debatable. Like
I mean,
you don't even know me, so you can't just say I'm dumb.
okay,
That's
I can
stereotypical.
probably
Like
tell.
you
I can
just
listen. I don't know Trump, but I'm pretty sure he's pretty dumb. The same way that I don't exactly know you. I don't know your entire life story, but I mean, it's debatable.
okay. Then tell me exactly how it's debatable.
How you being dumb's debatable.
Hmm?
How how you being dumb is debatable. Is that
Yeah,
what you're
tell me
saying?
how it's debatable.
Um,
Tell me how.
I mean, if you really want to get into the incest thing again, I don't know if you want to or not, but
Well,
I guess we're
well,
gonna have to if you want me to go down
well,
this road, right?
well. People who are a lot smarter than both you and I, some of them who are against incest just know that it's bad logically. So you can't call someone dumb just because they say it's just logically bad
Yeah, but you can give me a
because
single reason
it's
for why that is, for why it is bad.
well,
People,
so
there's
what? You
very
don't need
smart.
a reason from me.
There's some
You
very
don't need
smart
it.
people. There's some very smart people that think the Earth is flat. I'm not gonna say, oh, the Earth is flat. I don't need a reason for it because these smart people said it is.
Okay then.
So you can give me a single reason for it, but yet you said had such a strong opinion on
Okay,
it.
okay. So here's why. So first of all, it's your own flesh and blood. Okay, that's the first reason.
That's my reason why, but sure, continue.
Uh, Well, that is a reason because like, why would you want to do it to your own flesh and blood?
Why would I
Like,
could say, why do you want to have sex with a girl? That's disgusting. That's not an argument against homosexuality.
um,
Unless you think it is an
what?
argument against homosexuality. If I said I would
That's
do,
completely different. That's
it's not
completely
though.
different.
How is it
Yeah, it
different?
is. Well, if say for instance that like you have feelings for another man that's not your flesh and blood, then it's completely different. But um, like incest is just logically wrong because um, well, for most people, yeah, because um, the wait. So if let's just say that you think it's like okay and should be allowed and should be practiced and like you're fully into it, why would you think that people should be fully into it and it should be allowed all over the place? Why? Just to give me something to start off with. Because right now I'm just mind boggled that the simple reason
Wait, I'm
of it's
sorry.
your own flesh and blood
I
is
don't
not a
believe.
reason.
I don't believe I have to give a reason for this. Actually, I think in today's society, or in society in general, we have to give a reason why something is wrong not to do it. Okay, so I don't have to give you a reason why something would be okay to do. You have to give me a reason why
Yeah, you
something would be
do because you're
how.
asking me why it's wrong.
Yeah,
So, and I want something to start off with because apparently my first reason is not really a reason.
yeah, well, it's not, but sure. I mean,
Well, you think it's not, but other people know it is.
no, they would think it's not as well. Um,
No,
okay,
I
well,
mean
I
there are
know
some people
your
like
opinion is wrong,
no there are some people
and
like
there are
you
some people that
that would
agree
say
with
that
me.
my
Yeah.
there are some people like you that would say that my opinion is wrong, and then there are some people like me that think that that's a valid reason because um
Okay.
so if it's not your own flesh and blood, then there's lots of individuality to go about. And if it's with your own flesh and blood, it's just the exact same genes going over and over and over.
Is this a problem? Why would this be a problem?
Well, why would you want to be the exact same as someone who's, say, perhaps like 5 generations down from you? Like have this exact same genes as someone who's like 5 generations down from you.
Well, why wouldn't you? Does it matter?
Yes, it does.
What would be different? Like, why would that be an issue?
Well, so, um, if you're like, say, with someone that's not your own flesh and blood and you have kids with them, then there's lots of individual genes and stuff that just goes into one kid.
Yeah, but why
Like
would this
it's a
be a
mixture
bad
of the,
thing? Why would it be bad to have a kid
well,
that's
wait, elaborate.
why would it be bad to have a kid that has the same genes as like your great grandparents or whatever?
Well, because that kid would be bullied and everyone would say that he's an incest child. And they would just make fun of him
So
for it and make fun of his parents for it.
so it actually doesn't matter about the genes. You're just worried about the societal placement on the child.
Well, it does matter about the genes
Or how are the genes affecting him?
because they're making him the exact same and not giving him his own individual personality.
Wait, I'm
Like
sorry.
that's
Do you think genes are like everything involved in
well,
that makes up your personality?
they are part of what makes up your individual personality. Like your different traits, your different likes, your different dislikes, what you're good at, what you're bad at. Like you take in some traits from your parents, and like the reason that everyone, the reason that somebody might be better at something than someone else is because it's those individual traits that come from their
Wait, why is
parents.
why is this a bad thing?
Well, so um, say if uh you are good at a sport, like just one particular part of a sport that nobody else in the world's good at, and then you come across a person who has the same exact genes as you. Maybe you didn't know that, but from like the same family as you, who's good at the exact same thing that you are, and when nobody else is. Like everyone
Okay.
is good at something different.
Okay. So your problem with mass incest. Okay. So what's wrong with just one couple doing it?
Just one couple doing it.
Yeah.
It's just I don't know how, but logically it's just wrong. I don't have any reasons for it. It's just ethically wrong.
Well, it's not ethically wrong because you can give a reason.
Okay, then tell me how it's not ethically wrong. Go on.
That's not how that works at all.
Well, I'm making it how it works, but you just don't want to tell me your reasons.
I don't have to though.
Yeah, you do because you're making
No,
me
the
tell
onus is
me
on you.
the what?
The onus is on you. It's your
The,
prerogative to do it.
the onus is on me. It's my prerogative to do it. Elaborate, please.
You have to prove us something is wrong. That's why.
Well,
That's
how do I prove that it's wrong if you're just continuously gonna turn my opinion around and just be one-sided? Because that's what you're doing right now. Like I'm telling you,
what
it's
do you mean?
just ethically wrong because you're just continuously having the same genes, and you're telling me, but how is that wrong? That's just being one-sided. You're not even considering it.
I am. Wait. Okay. So
You're
yeah,
you're
and
not
then we
considering it
moved
at
on.
all.
And then we moved on. Look, I said, okay. So what's the
And
problem? What's the problem with this one couple having it?
well, so one couple being incest, but so just one couple. I don't know how, but it's just weird.
Okay. Do you
I,
want to
I
move
don't
on to
know
the next
how.
subject?
Uh, yeah, so about what I said, a person doesn't need to be smart to know that incest is just wrong, like through and through, because it's just a natural. way of thinking, and then you go and say that somebody doesn't need to be smart to know that I'm dumb, which is very offensive to me because I
Um,
know I'm not dumb.
okay, so could you tell
And
me?
that's when you twisted stuff that I said that was
Mm,
completely irrelevant to the current situation, and then you just twisted it.
okay, good, All right, listen.
Hmm.
Do you want to answer my thing? So, okay, so you're saying that thing A, right? Well, incest is thing A, right? You're saying it's bad because we know it's bad, so that makes it bad, right?
Well, I mean,
Is this true or
I
false?
can't come up with any reasons to why it's bad because I've never really put much thought into incest. I've just known that it's bad. I don't even need to go into thinking about why incest is bad. I just know it is by the sound of, just by the word and the meaning of it.
Okay, so what's wrong with me saying that you're dumb?
Well,
Because you're dumb.
because
I don't need to put thought into it. I just know it.
well, how do you just know it?
Ah, well, from the sound of it, right? It makes sense.
What so the word dumb and me just
Yeah.
makes me dumb.
Yep.
But how do you know? How do you know this?
Well, from past experience talking with you, I've actually looked into it. So that, I mean, I think that gives me a little bit more
Okay,
evidence.
so past experience, give me some evidence.
We were just talking about the incest shit, right?
Well, that's just one topic, and that's just one topic
Okay.
that I have never really put any thought into, but it you have clearly put a lot of thought into it.
Yeah, I actually like to put thoughts into stuff that I don't actually know. I
Well,
usually like to expand
yeah,
my knowledge.
and you like to put thought into stuff that's just plain weird.
Okay. I don't know how insulting we will get, but okay. Yeah, so let's. I want to know some of your opinions on stuff, right? So I can finally understand if you're dumb or not. Right? Yeah.
Hmm.
Okay. Um. Phew, okay. Do you think that um? Phew, do you like Trump? President Trump?
Um,
Right.
so like we're talking about the actual person of Donald Trump.
I mean, is the Republican Party, Trump
Okay,
himself?
well, I would
Is
say that um, there are some parts about him that I'm okay with, and some parts that I just don't like at all.
okay. What parts do you like about him?
Well, um, he, well, I've never really gone into the parts that I like about him. I've just thought about him a little bit, but I've heard a
Everything
lot
I've
of
been
bad
weird.
stuff about him. I've heard a lot of bad stuff about him.
Okay.
Well, I mean, it's not really a lot of bad stuff about him. It's just more of the same, more elaborated on, you know?
Let's actually get to the homosexuality thing, right? Because this is the biggest problem. Plus incest. Yeah.
Okay.
Um.
And I'm not talking about incest.
Yeah, I know. That's why I moved on to homosexuality.
Okay.
Um. So you say that you're not born gay. How else would you become gay? Or how do you become gay, I should say?
Well, it's a choice that you make mentally. So, say if you're not liked by any lady in your life, but you still want somebody to spend the rest of your life with,
What happens if you don't find a guy?
well, then you're just I don't know, on your own, I guess.
Do you stop liking guys then?
What?
Do you stop liking guys
I
if
don't know.
no guy likes you?
I mean, well, if no girl likes you or if none of them are really fond of you, then like there's always the same race to go with. But every single person, like
Right.
unless they're your sibling, have different genes in them.
Okay.
So
Oh
they're
wait,
all different.
actually, I'm
They're all
sorry. I
different.
had to bring this up really quick. What's your problem with homosexuality and incest? Since there's no genes that can be spread.
Well, I am not talking about incest, but I'll say homosexuality. It's a it's a pure choice that you make when the opposite sex doesn't like you. I am
Uh,
perfectly fine with it, even though I myself am not gay at all.
well, I mean,
Um, but like,
I'm
so
sorry.
what?
I'm done with that. I'm sorry. Doesn't matter. Go ahead.
What? So you're laughing at me while I'm explaining something.
No,
Go
no,
ahead.
no. Continue. I'm so sorry.
No,
Continue.
I can hear you laughing in the background.
Go. I muted myself. Go on. I'm sorry. I'm not laughing anymore.
Well, you were. I'm not going to be explaining stuff to you when you just laugh at me.
I'm sorry. I thought of something really
Like,
funny.
like you think that you're smarter than me and everything, and
Well,
that you
I
just think
probably
that all
am.
my opinions are irrelevant. I highly doubt that you're smarter than me and everything, and that's just you being so full of yourself yet again and being so one-sided yet
Really?
again.
I'm the one being full of myself
Yeah,
when when you get so salty when someone disses your intelligence, and then you constantly
yeah.
say that you're smarter than
I
someone
get salty that someone ditches this is my intelligence
because you're full of yourself.
over one topic. I
I
bet you
mean,
I'm smarter than you on a wide range of other topics.
really? I'm
Yeah.
probably smarter than you on a whole bunch of topics as well.
Okay then, but you can't just call me dumb over one thing. That's you don't even know me that well.
True, my bad, dude, my bad. Okay. Wait, you don't know me that well, but you called me dumb.
Well, because I called you dumb in this particular topic because you're so one-sided and
Oh,
because
true,
you're
true. My bad. You know, I was just calling you dumb in this particular topic as well. My bad.
okay. Well, so what were we talking about again?
Um. Do you think that I don't know? Do you think that killing all black people would be a good thing?
No, I very, 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 very highly doubt that that would be a very good thing.
There you go. But wait, they commit 50% of the crime, and they're only 15% of the population.
Well, the reason they commit 50% of the crime is because they are the most undermined part of our society,
Oh yeah, because
just because of their skin color.
do you believe in white privilege?
White privilege.
Yeah.
If it's based on being better than another race, then no.
No. Do you think that white
I do
people
believe that
especially
white people
privilege?
are privileged because, like, in the past, like we are a race of like just white skins who have constantly undermined other skin colors,
Amen to that.
and I am fully against that. I feel the biggest sympathy for any black person that has
Okay.
been
Okay. Cool.
undermined
Cool.
by
Cool.
my skin color in the
Do you
past.
think are you an anti-SJW?
Anti-STW, what do you mean by that?
Do you know what SJW is? Like social justice warrior?
Nope.
Okay, don't know. My bad. Um. um Louis, you want to chime in on it? You have a topic for us that we can go over?
I'm good.
Any topic?
I guess transgenderism is the suggestion.
Transgenderism, I am against it.
Okay. Let's go. Why are you against it?
Well, because men and women are naturally born as males and females. I don't care what you think you are, male, female, trans, whatever, but like if you were born a male, then you're a male to me.
Not free.
So if a male becomes a transgender woman, like in sporting events, this transgender female who used to be a man still has testosterone in him, so he is better than every single female competitor that he's facing because of this testosterone. And with females becoming transgender males, their estrogen prevents them from competing with other males. Even though I've seen some transgender females who can beat just stay as one. If you don't like your gender, too bad. You were born it.
Ooh.
Are you aware that a lot of people kill themselves because they can't transition? Are you saying that they should just kill themselves?
No, I'm not saying that they should just kill themselves. I'm saying that they should find a way to live with it.
Yeah, the way they live with it is to transition.
No, I mean like they have to find a way to live with being a male or a female at birth. Explain to me why people kill themselves because they are not able
It's
to
called
go
gender
transgender.
dysphoria. It's called gender dysphoria.
Okay, explain to me what that is.
Basically, it's the like absolute stress and agony of being in the opposite body that they feel. This usually turns into severe depression, other things like that. And eventually, if they don't transfer to alleviate the stress and stuff they have on them, they kill themselves. This is why the transgender suicide is at like 25%, I think, or 10%. Yeah.
Okay, well, so even though I am against transgenders, like if a man chooses to become transgender, then I'm still going to consider him a man and not a woman because he was originally a man. He could be a transgender out in cow and still consider him a man because of that main fact. If men become transgender women, they still have testosterone in them,
So if
so
he
they are
came up
still
with
better
you,
than.
if he came up with you with a dress, a wig, and everything, and would you still refuse to call him her or she? I guess.
Well, um, yes, I would because I'm pretty sure I could tell that like if it was a wig or if like it was just
Yeah.
a dress on a man.
Would you not respect them and call them by the gender pronoun they assigned to be?
Well, I might, but I'd still consider themselves as their original gender.
Okay, so you would respect them and call them she, I guess.
Like I would be against it, but I would respect them. Like
Okay.
like with that choice, I would
I'm
respect them, but I'd still be against it.
What did you say, Louis? Sure.
Brendan, I'm gonna send a variety of photos to the general chat. I want you to tell me if, like, by first sight, you tell what gender they are.
Okay, I'll try my best, I guess.
It's not very, like,
Um,
convincing.
And why precisely are you sending me these photos?
I don't know, I'm just curious.
could you tell what gender they are? Or what
I mean,
gender they
it
assigned to
just
be?
depends. Just depends.
It's like, at first sight, would you be able to detect, like, what their gender is?
Maybe, maybe not.
Okay, so say you slept with someone that you presumed to be a woman.
Well, I would want to be absolutely sure that she's a woman.
So you just gotta ask a random stranger you
No,
met
no,
if
I'm
they're
not
a
gonna
woman.
ask. I'm gonna like be I want to be absolutely sure.
Show me your fucking birth certificate.
So how can you prove
No,
that?
no, not that I want it to be medically tested. Like to see if, like, say it's a woman who used to be a man, I'd want to test it to see if this woman has testosterone in her.
Okay, so how would you politely ask someone who you're about to, like, do it with what their gender is?
Well, I mean, at first glance, I should be able to tell if it's a male or a female, but if it looks a little bit like a male,
Oof.
then I would ask.
Well, at first glance,
Just
I'm
from
sorry,
like,
but these ones, I didn't even believe they were men myself. So,
Alright, Louis, do you have a different topic?
what, we're just gonna end on that? Okay, look at the last one, Brendan. The one, the Miss Universe one.
I can't see any pictures.
Oh, okay.
Just tab out of the voice chat and go into general.
Okay.
Do you see them?
Yes, I do see them.
Okay, the last one. I'm gonna look at specifically.
The last one.
Yeah, would you be able to tell if that's a transgender?
Well, it looks very, very much like a woman, but some of the facial features, or maybe one or two parts of the facial features, sort of hint that it could be a man. I don't know. It's really hard to tell.
Okay, so how would you confirm with them about what their real gender was or is?
Was.
Because I wouldn't just go to someone and say, yo,
Well, I mean, I wouldn't know, but like the second last picture, I don't even know. Wait, I'm gonna see if I can find the first picture. Um,
This is a dead topic. I don't know where we even go from here.
what about this one, Brendan?
I can already tell that's a guy. I've seen him on YouTube.
I bet.
Does that
How do
change,
you know
Charles?
that's a... how do you know that's a man?
I've watched one of Fazo's videos, and he said that he was doing this like
Who?
makeup tutorial thing with this guy, and I could already tell from the voice that it was a guy,
Okay,
and from the overall face shape,
Alright,
jawline.
what's the next topic? This is a dead topic. Aren't I?
Alright, bet.
Do you have a topic you
Feminism?
want to talk about? Feminism.
Feminism.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, there are some parts of feminism that I'm okay with, and some parts that I'm not okay with.
What aren't you okay with?
Well, the part about the what do you call it, wage gap? I agree with the feminists on that one, that should be changed.
What don't you agree with?
The stuff that I don't agree with is that women are allowed to hit men, but men aren't allowed to hit women back after they get hit by a woman specifically. Because even though men may or may not be the strongest species, like from evolution, or like the stronger rate or like gender from evolution, and like all these conversations about like women just being like the smarter race out of men, assault is still assault. So if a woman hits you, you hit her back. That's gender equality. Like you're not gonna let a woman hit you and just like, and then when she hits you, she just plays the victim card. I'm not about that. If a woman hits you, then I'll hit her back. Maybe not as hard as she hit me back, but I'm gonna still hit her back.
Anything else on the feminism?
I don't really know.
Damn, seems like you don't know a lot. I'm sorry.
I mean, there's pretty much only two things about feminism that I really pay attention to. The
What?
one thing that I agree on and the one thing I
Is there any topic that you know a lot about?
Yes, there is, but I'll not discuss because it's just boring.
Okay. Is there an interesting topic that you know a lot about?
Uh, well, there are some topics that I find interesting, but they're probably just boring to you, so I'm not
What are
gonna
they? Tell me.
try.
I'll tell you if they're boring.
Okay, let's see. Um, um,
Do you think that PewDiePie is racist?
No.
Okay. What are your topics?
Um, okay. Do you think that, um, like, say a 65-year-old man dating like a 25-year-old or 30-year-old woman is okay?
Yeah. That's right.
Or like being married? Tell me
Yeah.
why.
Ain't nothing but
Oh
a
yeah, I'm sorry.
party.
You have to tell me why it's wrong. I don't understand.
No, no, no. I asked you how it's okay, so you tell me how it's okay.
Basic.
This isn't how this works, but sure.
Well, I just
Okay,
turned the
okay, no,
tables
no,
on
no.
you, so you tell me how it's okay.
Oh, fuck.
Okay, it's okay because it's okay. Um, there's nothing wrong with it. Like, it's
Well,
okay.
okay,
I don't, like eating
tell
tomatoes
me
is okay
exactly
because
about what.
yeah,
Tell me exactly what about it's okay.
everything.
Everything okay? Go into detail.
It's just like a normal relationship.
More? I want more.
Okay, this isn't how this
That's
works.
just one thing. That's not everything. It's just one.
Wait, it's just like a normal
You say
relationship.
it's okay with everything, but you can just all you can do is just explain one reason.
Oh my god, do you not know how this works? Oh my, I just
I do know
realized
how
you're
this works.
really dumb.
I just
Oh
turned the
my
tables
god.
on you, so you give me reasons.
This is not how moral or ethical conversations work, okay? You have
Yeah, it
to tell me
is.
why
I'm
something.
asking you, so
No,
you
it
tell
doesn't. You
me.
fucking read. Oh my god. You have to explain why something is wrong to make it wrong, okay? If I say, okay,
So,
if I say, okay, why eating tomatoes okay? Why eating tomatoes? I think tomatoes are disgusting, bro. Why tomatoes okay? And you say, oh, I think tomatoes okay because they're okay. They're okay. And then you go, oh, that's
well,
not a good enough
I can
reason.
give you a couple
That's
of
not enough
reasons to why
reason.
eating tomatoes is okay,
Okay, you can tell
and
me?
maybe why some people okay. So, a tomato is nice because
No, tell
it's
me why it's morally
delicious.
okay to eat a tomato. Morally okay.
Okay, well, it's a fruit. I don't know if it's a fruit or a
That's not
vegetable.
a
I
moral
don't care.
reason, dude.
It's healthy for you. It's delicious. The texture of it's nice.
These aren't moral.
You can put it on foods.
These aren't
Um,
moral reasons.
okay, well, it's just a fruit and it's healthy for you.
Those aren't moral
Or it's
reasons.
something. I don't know if it's a fruit or vegetable, but it's healthy for you.
These aren't moral reasons or ethical reasons.
Okay, well, I don't really think there's anything like ethical or moral that goes into liking a tomato. It's just someone's own personal like likes and dislikes. It's someone's own personal opinion.
Okay, can you tell me why it's wrong for a 23-year-old and a 60-year-old to date?
Okay, well, so when this 20-year-old was like not even born yet, this 60-year-old um was probably like 40 or something, I don't know. But say the 20-year-old and the 60-year-old have like a child. This child will be bullied because by the time by the time he or she grows up, their dad or mum, um, like I'm just gonna make it both sides. So like a 6-year-old man or like 6-year-old woman with like a super young man, they'll be bullied by saying that one of their parents is super old and one of their parents is super young. they'll have to go through the grief of one of their parents dying while they're growing up from old age, while the other parent still lives from
Oh.
young age.
Okay.
That can be super hard on especially little kids. So say there's a person, like a woman or a man, who's like in the old part of society, like on an old age, with a relatively young man or woman, maybe like 30 years of age or so. They have a son or a daughter. While this daughter's growing up, they're bonding with their old parents, and then while they're growing up, their old parent suddenly dies of old age or natural causes, whatever you want to call it. And that's really hard on small kids, because as a small kid, like most of your childhood is growing up with your parents until you're a full-grown adult and ready to move out. Now, if like say you're a super old lady or man who's like in the age of 70 or 80, and you've got a kid, I don't even know if that's possible for them still, but it probably is. You will not be able to see your son or daughter grow up to be like a successful man or woman. Like,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. Just summarize. You're against it because the parent will die.
No, I'm against it because of like the age gap. It's a massive age gap, and yeah, it's a massive age gap, and the child will be bullied because their parents, like one of the parents, is like 30 or 40 years older than the other parent, and if their old parent dies while they're still busy like growing up through primary school or high school, then it'll be really heavy on them.
Okay, so let's go point by point. Alright. You have a problem with that? Are you against old people in general adopting or having a kid?
If it's like
Like if they're
if
like 60
it's
or 50.
if they're 60 or so, then like I would say I don't really know if I'm against it or not, but because it's still going to be hard on the kid if their adoptive parent or like if their like biological parent dies from old age, like while they're still at a young age. So I guess yes and no.
Okay,
Um,
so for the old age thing for the 23-year-old and the 60-year-old, you would be a yes and no for the age thing, right?
um, for the old person, like to have a kid, yes and no, but for the young person to have a kid with them,
Well, the young kid could
I don't
the
know.
20-year-old could help the younger person, the child. Right?
True, but it's going to put a lot of stress on the younger adult to take care of the kid.
Yeah, well, it would be harder for the old person though, right?
Um, I would say that it would be harder for the old person, but it would also, um, well, the old person has lots of experience in it, like unless they haven't had a kid yet. And the young person, this is like maybe their first kid or so, so they have no experience in it whatsoever, so they need help with it. They are still learning
Yeah,
in
but
adulthood on how to take care of a child.
the old person can't move around properly. She's 60. Or
Who said that they couldn't move around properly? There's plenty of
or
super
old people
healthy
can,
old people out there who can move
but
perfectly
the
fine without
majority
any
aren't.
aid.
I mean, the majority aren't.
Half of them aren't.
Okay, so what would you do if she was in this half that couldn't?
Well, if she was in this half that couldn't, then the young person will, well, the young parent will struggle with helping the old parent, like through the age of sort of
Yeah, but they're
getting
dead, my
near
dude.
the dying
They're dead
dead.
already. Yeah, they're dead. We're in the scenario where they're dead.
Okay, so, um, well, say, say, if you're a kid and like one of your parents is like 40 years older, how you would still want to know that that old parent for like your whole entire childhood until you grow up to be like a 25-year-old adult, or like more than 30, 25-year-old adult. Wouldn't you say? Because by the time you're over the age
Probably.
of 25, like your young parent is still going to be alive. So, like,
I mean, I don't know. My great parents are still alive. Great
huh?
grandparents. My great grandparents are still alive. They seem to be doing
Yeah,
okay, I guess.
they're probably pretty healthy, or they're getting a lot of help, or managing it on their own. I don't know.
Okay.
One of my great grandparents is still alive as well.
Oh, wow,
But my
so
granddad died of like a heart attack in old age, died in his sleep. So my grandma's struggling with my aunt and her son because she's like in the age where she gets retired, and now like she's still struggling because she's got all these like how can I put it, these sort of illnesses that mostly just accompany old people from old age. And
okay.
since their body is busy shutting down and getting ready to just die.
Okay, so we're completely off topic. So your problem with a young person and an old person have a child is because
Is because if the old parent dies, it will impact the child, most of all because the child will probably still be pretty young as the old parent dies. The child will be bullied because of the age gap between his or her two parents. Um, and the the old person is going to have to deal with the fact that they will never get to see their kid grow up and be proud of them. And the young person is going to have to deal with the fact that they are now going to have to take care of this kid all on their own without any moral support from the old person, or like just knowing the fact that the old person will never get to see the kid grow up and
oh,
be
so
proud of
are you against people going into the army or the military?
them. Where did that come out of?
Well, people in the military are more likely to die. So that would leave the young person that has a kid without moral
There are
support.
lots of people who are not in the military who still die. So where the hell did that come from?
Well, then your argument dismantles itself, then, right?
It doesn't really dismantle itself. There are old people in construction jobs who die on the job because the work is too heavy. There's
Okay.
people who are forced to retire from some like easy jobs just because those like age illnesses are busy um
So your problem,
brought
okay, so your
by.
problem is one of them that could die. One of them could die like when the kid's young. But I was saying that if someone's in the military, they have a higher risk of dying. So that means that if they have a higher risk of dying, that means the parent will be left alone. So are you against people going into the military?
I mean, if it's an old person with a young person, then like I don't really know, but like I don't know. Like I still I'm having trouble understanding like where this army thing came from, or this military thing,
Okay,
because
so
this conversation
you
had
do know
nothing to
that
do with the military.
like young people, like young men, usually go into the military, right?
Yeah,
Okay, so if there are two parents that are young, the father or the mother goes into the military and dies, right? You following?
yeah.
That means that the mother or father is left with a child to take care of by themselves. So would you say the act of going into the military knowing that there's a risk of dying is bad?
I mean, um, I would say like in terms of the family grieving for the lost one is like in terms of going into the military for that is a negative part of it. But the positive part of it is that you'll be remembered as a hero who potentially saved lots of lives while you're in the military. Even though you died, you'll be known as a hero. But if you die in the military without saving anyone, you'll still be known as a courageous person who went to fight for his country.
But the kid is still left with a lot of trauma through their parent dying, and the mother, or the father, is left
Yeah.
without someone with moral support to take care of the child.
Yeah. But like that's the negative part about it.
Yeah, so should they do it? Should they go into the
What so
military?
well, it's all up to them really. I'm not gonna say yes or no, it's up to them really.
Ah, okay, so you don't care about the 6-year-old and the 20-year-old having a kid, right? Because it's up to them.
I did not say that.
Yeah, but you just said that if someone goes into the military, which has a potential risk of the parent dying.
Yeah, but you bought this military thing out of nowhere.
Yes, because it's the same.
It's not the same.
Okay, could you know how it's not the same?
So, what are you comparing the military to?
An old
Like,
person.
okay, well, so say if like this old person has been in the military all their life, so they've got lots of experience to be like a general or something, there's still the possibility that they could die. Um, but who's to say that this old person will go into the military?
Wait, I don't even know what you're talking about now. Why are you bringing up the old person going into the military?
Because you said is it okay for an old person to go into the military,
No,
like
young
if they've
person.
got a
Young
kid?
person. Young person.
Oh, okay. There's always child support for the kid, and help from others for the old parent. But if the old parent dies after the young person, like the young parent has died, then that'll be really, really hard on the kid. So, I mean,
So that's why you consider it bad, right? You consider
well,
that
I
bad.
mean, I would say a young person going into the military, like after they've had a kid, is both good and bad because it's got both positive effects and negative effects. Um, so overall, yes and no. And but for a young person and an old person to have a kid together, um, I said like that old person just dying of like old age, not dying from the military. So
But it has the same
that's
effects.
so what if it's got it probably doesn't have the same effects because um people still grieve about like their lost loved one dying, but of old age, not from being killed in the army.
So in
So
both
it's
scenarios,
not really the
both
same.
grieve.
In both scenarios, both grieve, but about different
Hmm.
things.
Okay. How is this different? So two people grieving
Well,
is the same effect.
well,
Premise A equals someone to
so
grieve. Premise B
so
equals someone to
on
grieve.
the army, so person A, which is like in the army and that, they are grieving because their
Because
loved
they
one died
died.
in the war, but
Yep.
they'll remember that their loved one was a hero, so that gives them something good to remember them by.
Yep.
But if it's like a normal death, people will remember you as possibly being a nice person in like a normal life,
Yeah.
or just
And
living
what
a good
effect what
life.
effect does that cause?
Well, for a kid who's the child of a person who died in the army, they'll still be sad, but they'll remember their parent as a hero, a potential hero, you probably saved lots of lives. And if it's a normal life, they'll remember their parent as being just overall, hopefully a nice person and just leading a good normal life.
Hello? You deafened yourself.
So that's why it's different.
Message him telling me he deafened himself.
Oh my god.
A hero, being a hero and having a normal life is different. You better have not recorded this.
Wait, what's he doing? Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure I hear this undeafened him, right? Oh no, that's server deaf.
I'm just so tired.
This is going nowhere. Quick, think of some topics real quick, some real juicy ones.
Now I'm gonna fucking end my recording. I'm done.